Hello everyone, this is Siddhi Bhanushali and I would like to welcome you all to my channel. So today we have with us Vani Chitkara. She is an outreachy intern. So without wasting your time, let's have her. Hi Vani,
Hi everyone.
hope you are doing good.
Yeah, I'm doing very
Are
great.
you excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this whole recording session.
Yeah, so let's start. So first question is what is outreachy? What is outreachy all about?
So Outreach is an open source program, and in a way, which is the thing that is different about it is that it's a diversity initiative. So Outreach encourages the people who are from diverse background and are underrepresented in the tech industry, like let's say Indian women, and then people from the continent of Africa or maybe Latin America. So these people are preferred by Outreach, and they encourage those people to apply to this initiative, and it's a 3-month long internship where people from diverse backgrounds come and choose the organizations. Firstly, they contribute to those organizations, and if the contributions are like good and at par and the organizations like the contributions, they just select the interns, for after which we intern there for like 3 months.
Okay, that is like a great opportunity for everyone out there. So when are the applications out for us, like for Indian students?
Yeah, as you all know that Outreachy runs for twice a year, which is the summer cohort and winter cohort. And it is advisable for Indians to apply in the summer cohort only, for which the applications open in February first week. So you all can apply for it next year in February when the applications open.
Okay, so yeah, so whenever we apply for any program or for an internship in a company, we always see what benefits we get. Or if we have two offers, like we see the benefits part, like here I'm getting more benefits, so I'll join here. So what are the benefits of outreach?
Well, the biggest benefit is that you get to work with a huge network of people who are from a very diverse background. Like for me, the mentors and my co-intern were none from India. Like I had to work with them and understand their accent, their time zones, and I had to accommodate. And it was similar for them; they had to accommodate as well. So it was a very great networking opportunity for me. And along with that, the interns are also offered a stipend of 6,000 US dollars, which amounts to around like 4.5 lakh rupees Indian currency. And this stipend is break down into three parts. So like there are three feedbacks: the initial feedback, mid feedback, and final feedback. And after we are successfully completing this feedback, and even our mentor are just giving the information that okay, this intern is doing well, so then Outreach releases the feedback in three parts. So like $2,000 first, then after the second feedback $2,000 again, and after the final feedback the final stipend of $2,000 is released again. So like these are the perks of Outreachy.
That's great. So do you think are there any prerequisite to like participate in outreach?
Like Outreach is a very beginner friendly program, so if you are just well versed with a tech stack and have some projects prepared in it. Like for me, I'm a web developer, so I had some small projects of web development, and along with that I had participated in some open source programs before, like Hacktoberfest and Winter of Code programs. So I was quite well versed with how the open source works and how the collaborative environment of projects is, like how we use Git and GitHub. So like these are the prerequisites, but even if you aren't very familiar with them, it's totally all right. Outreach is even welcoming for total beginners who just want to get open started with open source and don't have any motivation or like any guidance to pursue open source.
Okay, so as you said that you had previous contributions in Hacktoberfest and some Winter of Photograph. So do you think that we need some previous contributions so that we can have an upper edge or that can benefit us, like we can get selected for that?
In the initial application, Outreach does ask us that if we have any previous experience with open source. Doesn't matter if it is coding or documentation meditation or documentation, like keeping up with the documents and everything. And like even if you have designed a logo or maybe helped in the UI UX, these all count for a contribution. So they ask in the application. So if you have these experiences, that's definitely an upper edge for you. But even total beginners who are passionate about open source can still apply. But it's great that if you know previously that how open source works, you won't be hesitant to get started with a new code base which is quite large, and you won't be hesitant to reach out to your mentors. So that's a very great benefit if you have any previous experience.
I totally agree to it. Like we need to have some previous experiences. Like that definitely gives us an edge. So can you
Yeah.
describe the application process in a bit detail?
Yeah, sure. So for us Indians, the initial application opens up in February first week, and this application has around 4 to 5 essay questions, which ask about how we are underrepresented in the technical industry and like the discriminations we might have faced in a learning environment. So these 4 5 essay questions surround around these topics, and you need to answer these essays in like very detail. So the tip for it would be to be honest about your story and just write everything that you have ever faced. Like if suppose you have faced discrimination at even your school level, you can mention about that, and do support your statements and story by facts and figures. Like if you just plainly say that I'm facing gender discrimination, then no one would actually believe you, right? Because you don't support your statement with a fact. So if you just write that in India like 20% of women only pursue STEM because gender discrimination is very apparent here. Like let's suppose it's a very hypothetical statistics that I'm quoting here. So if you mention these kind of statistics and support your story along with this, so there's a higher chance that your essays might get selected. So after this initial application period, like it runs for around 3 to 4 weeks. So in February end, these initial applications close, and after around 1 month the results are declared. So if your initial application is selected, you are moved to the contribution period. So in contribution period, there is a list of around 100 plus projects for the selected applicants to choose from, and almost all the tech stacks are available in these projects, like web development, MLAI, Rust, Golang, app development, you name it, and the project is there for it. So you don't need to worry that I only know HTML or I only know CSS. Even those projects are available in Outreachy. And even if you don't know coding, then design and documentation and research projects are also available. So that's a very good point for people who aren't very confident with their coding skills. So in contribution period, you need to just go through the projects and select around 3 to 4 projects in which you want to contribute. And I would advise to select only 3 to 4 at maximum and contribute as much as you can in it. Like just suppose make 6 to 7 pull requests, or like 5 to 6, it's an optimum number. Don't do this thing that you select 7 to 8 projects and only do 1 to 2 pull requests in it, because in that way the mentors won't remember your contributions, and they won't even remember like, okay, this was a person who was contributing to our organization. So keep in touch with your mentors and help your fellow applicants as well. Like that's a very good way to create a very friendly environment in open source. So this contribution period also runs for a month, after which, when the contribution period ends, the mentors take around 2 weeks to select the final interns. And after 2 weeks, if you're selected, then a mail is like sent to you that congratulations are selected. And after 1 week of when we receive this mail, we are contacted to our mentors and like co-interns, and then the internship is started for like which lasts for around 3 months.
Okay, so from what you said, I can make out some key points. Like the first and the most important things are essays. Like it's the
Yeah.
initial application. So I think we should like think about it and take some time and write the essays. And then the contribution, like they tell us to contribute in open source, and after that the internship. Okay, so that was great. And as you were also part of Outreachy, so we would like to know about your organization and on what project you worked on and what were your contributions in that.
Okay, so my project was improving collaboration and outreach of Open Archive, and also maintaining their social media as well. So it was a like part technical and part non-technical project. So in this project, what we had to do was we had to research about the digital rights issues and privacy issues, and even about the cyber security, like the technology that Open Archive uses in their Save app. Like it's an app used by citizen journalists and archivists to keep their video evidences safe. So it's a very good app, like it's for a humanitarian cause. So in this app we had to do bug hunting, and like also the non-technical part was that we had to research about latest news and issues regarding these privacy issues and surveillance and like biometric surveillance. So there were a lot of topics to know about and learn about. And we also had to curate content for the social media. So it was a very great and holistic project where you learn about the technical aspect as well and even the non-technical aspect. So it was a very good project for me to work on.
That's great. You really gave some good tips. So whenever we do something like this, and nothing is easy in life. So we face some challenges. I know you have also faced some challenges. So how did you overcome it?
So it was like before outreach, I received a lot of rejections, which definitely like made me lose self-confidence, and I was like, okay, I don't think that I'm well prepared for these opportunities yet, and I started to self-doubt. And only after that I was like, okay, let's first focus on my skills and just improve my tech stack, like how well versed I am with it. So I just started working more on web development and creating my own projects. And only after like contributing to open source and getting some validation from the people that I was contributing to, so I got the confidence again to apply to outreachy, and then I decided to take a chance and just applied for it. And this selection literally boosted my self confidence. Like before, you are not when you're not getting selected, you just face an imposter syndrome, like why am I even here, or like is it all worth. But after outreachy, like the supportive environment that these people create, like the organizers Sage and Anna, like they're so friendly, and even the interns, so they really boosted my self confidence, and we all talked about our failures and rejections. And then I realized that okay, it was not me, but everyone faces the same things, and we're all in the same boat. So I learned a lot from my failures, and like I just learned from them, and just worked on my shortcomings, and only after that I was able to achieve the outreach internship.
That's great, actually. So, whatever you said, like, I felt that outreach is somewhat different from other open source program as it asks for essays first and then you contribute in open source. So,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, so can you tell some more difference, like why outreach, like how outreach is different from other open source software as programs as well?
Like the way in which outreach is different is that they want to create an environment which is growth friendly. So firstly they ask for essays just because they want to judge your personality, and they want to see that either you are from a discriminated background or an underrepresented background or not. So like just suppose you are a person who has already the perks in their life and can easily step into technical industry without facing any gender bias or any caste bias, then what is the need to uplift them, right? So outreach is an initiative that uplifts the people who might not be able to easily break into technical industry. So this is the key aspect which makes it different from other open source programs. And also when we are contributing, like when we are interning with them, they do make sure that we document our journey using blogs. And then we also used to have a bi-weekly meeting with all the interns. Like it was more of an informal chat where we just picked a topic and talked about it. So like seeing all the interns from different backgrounds talking about their story and about the struggles in the projects that they're working on. And like amongst the 70 interns that were selected for this cohort, even like around 30 were Indians. So it was very great to see that like India is doing very great in open source scenario. And like these kind of programs just uplift the communities that are not very that are not very confident that if they would be able to break into technical industry without facing any biases. So that's a great thing. Like most of the contributors you'll find are maybe females and like non-binary and like from other genders. So it's a very great initiative if you feel that you don't have the confidence right now. And outreach definitely helps you to build that confidence to get into the technical industry.
That's
Just a
great,
second.
actually. So, you, yeah. Oh, that bottle. I also have that.
Yeah, GitHub
Okay,
field day.
so do you think that so do you think that people from non-coding background can take part in outreach?
Yeah, definitely they can, because even the project that I contributed to required designing skills and researching skills along with technical skills. So if you think that you're not very well versed with coding, you still have projects in outreach. Like in my contribution period, I contributed to Fedora, which was technically a whole design based project. They didn't require any coding, they just wanted you to be familiar with the designing programs like GIMP and another program that I forgot the name of. So there are a lot of projects that only require you designing and only require you maybe user research and these kind of things. Like there was a project about Opia Foundation, if you have might have heard the name. So they had a project totally based on user research, like you didn't have to do even a single line of code for them. So there are a lot of projects like these, and the people who aren't very confident with the coding skills, they can definitely opt for these projects.
Actually, so this is made clear, like people from non-coding background can also participate. I think it's a great thing actually. So, like this is a very personal question. Like, what were your reaction when you got that mail? Like, you're selected, and did you dance and all that thing?
So I'll tell you, like when I got the selection mail, it was like 10:30 in the night, because due to the time differences, they had to send the mails at 4:30 p.m. their UTC time. So when I received the mail, I was in total shock, because like I had 2 weeks of sleepless nights, because during that 2 weeks when the mentors were selecting those their mentors were selecting the mentees and the interns. So I was very nervous, like whether I'll get in or not. I was just evaluating everything, that okay, I just made these contributions and these had like total these many applicants were working on this organization. Like how many chances do I actually have? So during nights, my mind was working like crazy. So after these 2 weeks of sleepless nights, receiving that mail was totally worth it. And my mother got so emotional when I got this mail, and like she told all my relatives that okay, she made it, and even my friends were so happy for me. So they all were celebrating, and even when I was in total shock, they were like, oh my god, you got such a big opportunity. So it was a life changing moment for me, to be honest.
That's great. Like, your mom got emotional. Like, if
Yeah.
there was my mom, she would also got emotional. So, ending this, like, do you want to give any tips like how to write essays or which organizations to select? Or you already told that we should make 4 to 5 PRs in one organization, but still any other tips like how to keep the PRs like good quality and all that thing.
Yeah, sure. So, like, first of all, I just want to say that open source programs are don't differentiate on the basis of the branch that you are from, or even if you're an engineering student or not. So, if you're watching this video and you think that you might not be able to make it into these programs, don't worry about it. Just be confident in yourself and go forth and apply for these programs. Doesn't matter from which branch or college you are from. And open source programs are very welcoming to all. And like for the essays, I just said previously also that write good quality essays. Don't do copy paste essays from Google, because they'll catch it easily that this is not you, this is not your personality, this is just some random Google copy paste. And just write about your story, be totally honest about it. Even if you don't have like a good command on your writing skills, doesn't matter, because they don't judge you at all. So just go forth, write the story from your heart and be honest about yourself, because they when they'll see the honesty in your essays and the struggles that you have faced, they'll definitely want to contact you and uplift you through their program. And when you're in the contribution period, select it's my personal advice to select those projects which have less number of interns that they'll take. Like let's suppose there's a project by Firefox in which they'll take 15 interns. So seeing the number, like that's a very huge number, right? 15 interns for a single organization. All the people will think that okay, this is my chance, because 15 interns is a lot, so I might get selected easily. But so does the rest of the crowd. So all of them will run to contribute to Firefox. But the organizations that hire only one or two interns, people will think that okay, my chance is very slim, and like so will the rest of the crowd. But that's your chance to go to these organizations and start applying to them. Like when I was applying to Open Archive, only one intern was about to be selected initially, but they ended up selecting two interns because they got funding for it. So that's my personal advice, to go for organizations that are selecting less number of interns. And when you choose your projects, do make sure that you make good quality of PRs. And for the projects that revolve coding, just after you solve a first timer issue or beginner friendly issue, and you are well versed with the code base now, move forward to PRs that actually solve significant bugs and issues, because that's how the mentors will remember your contributions, that okay, she solved some bugs that were very crucial for our project. So they'll remember you, and then they'll definitely ask you to be an intern for the organization. And during the internship month, do contact all the interns, doesn't matter if they are contributing to your organization or not, and be friendly with everyone. This is a very great networking opportunity, so do reach out to everyone that's interning in your cohort and just make connections that will last a lifelong. That's my guarantee. So all the best to everyone who wants to apply for the next summer cohort.
Thank you so much, Vani. That was so insightful, like words. Like I was waiting to organize this, what we can say, podcast. So thank you so much. Like I enjoyed hosting. You gave some great tips, and I will apply the tips in whenever I apply for outreach as well. So thank you so much. You've been so good. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this, and I'll be coming with more such podcasts. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vani.
Thank you.